Hi, this is Sally, and I'm going to talk about week 14 of my weight loss journey. I didn't manage to make a video last week, so it's been 2 weeks since I've ended my 12-week weight loss vlog, and so I would like to update you about my results. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to talk about the areas of improvement. I'm going to talk about what I did well, and finally about my plans. Okay, so in terms of areas of improvement, there are 3 things I like to talk about, which is my diet, my supplement, and my lifestyle. So if you see me looking down, I'm actually referring to my notes. So in terms of my diet, the areas of improvement would be to juice more regularly. I realized that after I actually stopped my vlog, I managed to juice like twice on week 13 and none this week. So so I need to get that going again. So and I realized also that perhaps having a fixed day for juicing and really intentionally shopping, have a routine for that, and I think that was something that I'm still struggling with, just locking the day down. So I think because I don't have a routine for juicing, so it became irregular, because it's so easy to skip, as it takes a fair bit of time to do every day. Okay, in terms of how I can improve also would be the type of food that I eat. So in these 2 weeks, I actually ate more meat, and I think part of it is because of the circuit breaker. So in Singapore, we call the lockdown the circuit breaker, courtesy of our PM. Okay, so because of the circuit breaker, we are actually having food delivered to our place, and trying to make our own meals. However, we also are ordering in as well. And so as a family, the good thing is we're eating together, but my family likes to eat meat, and so when I join them, I also do that. And when I cook, I also include meat into the diet as well. So I'm eating more meat, and I don't think that's good, because of most of the meat have toxins inside, and also hormones, especially chicken, which I like. So the other thing also is ice cream. I have started eating ice cream in the last 2 weeks, also because of the circuit breaker. It's my emotional food. Yeah, and so also, when they deliver, you need a minimum amount to make the delivery worthwhile. And so each time I buy is about 3 tubs for the whole family, not just for myself. But the fact is, I have included ice cream into my diet. Okay, the other thing that I could do better is to also reduce the number of carbs in a day. So far, I am averaging about 2. I'm trying to keep it to 1 carb meal a day, like I did during my 12-week journey. So I think sometimes what I try to do, if I can't avoid it, like I mentioned, I am eating with my family as well, is to just have a little bit, like instead of a bowl, it's half bowl or quarter bowl. So, but I'm trying to reduce it still to 1 carb meal a day. Okay, so that's for, one more thing is my snacking. Yeah, because I don't go out as often now. Well, last time I used to grocery shop once a week, and I tried to get fruits delivered, but I don't really like the one that I tried out. First there's a minimum amount, so I need to buy at least $40 worth, and my family don't really eat fruits and vegetables that much. And when they do buy fruits, they prefer to buy it on the day itself rather than have it delivered. So that's one. The other thing also is my usual fruit store doesn't deliver. So what that means is that I haven't been buying fruits, and that's usually like my tangerines, and I usually deliberately buy tangerines, and grapes, so that if I feel like snacking, these are my healthy snacks. So because of that, I finished a packet of potato chips in the last 2 weeks, and I think and my snacking also include the ice cream. So that's what I did in the last 2 weeks. And okay, so the second area that I can improve on is in terms of supplements, particularly kelp and chromium. So kelp is actually pretty important for hormonal balance. So I don't take it very regularly. I take it as and when I remember. So I end up taking, instead of daily, I tend to take it every alternate days or every once in 3 days. The other thing is also chromium. I tend to take it only when I have my carb meal late at night, and but I think now that I've included exercise, which I'll talk about later, I should include it more regularly because it really helps to tone the muscles. Okay, and finally, in terms of lifestyle, the same old struggle. My sleeping time is pretty irregular. It ranges between 11:30 p.m. to 2 a.m. So that is something that I need to work on. Okay, so the second part of my review for week 14 is what I did well. Okay, so what I did well, I think in terms of supplements, I've been taking my herbal cleanse quite regularly. I mean, that has been a consistent habit since a long time ago. So I've always take my herbal cleanse once a day, and herbal cleanse is for me to actually cleanse my colon, and that's important because some of the weight is in just the fecal matter in the colon, right? So if I clean it every day, I'll just consistently keep my weight off. It's also great for health because when you have all these fecal matter that is not outside your body and just inside, it leads to many health issues, and so that also weight gain is symptomatic of the body not being at its optimal level. So the weight loss that we experience should be health focused. That's why it's not something that you push. If you eat right, if you exercise right, your lifestyle, and you have the essential supplements, it is natural that your body would go to its optimal state. Your body would tend to lose weight, if you take care of it. Okay, and the other thing that I've been doing quite regularly is my coffee enema every day, and that's pretty important because a healthy liver helps in the digestion of fat. It helps to remove the toxins in the body, and I think that's pretty important since I started eating meat. I always consider the toxins in the meat, and also the like chicken, there's a lot of hormones injected into it, and I don't want all this to remain in my body. So generally the body would take all the toxins from food or whatever, or the waste that our cells produce, just day-to-day metabolism and all that, and they will actually deliver it to the liver to process, right? So the liver would actually, it's like a waste factory and processing all these toxins. So it's quite important in terms of liver health for me. And in terms of liver health, there are actually 2 areas we look at, which is detoxification and nutrition. So coffee enema, I think, is an essential part of actually of health. And I think for weight loss, in terms of having a healthy liver, it would mean removing all these hormones that would cause me to put on weight, and also to remove not only the hormones, but also to have a healthy liver to help digest any excess fats that I have. I think also it would mean that let me just continue. The other thing that I did well is in terms of my yogurt. I've been taking yogurt pretty regularly, and it's averaging a tub a week. So a tub of yogurt a week for me is for breakfast, but it's increasing because a tub is only 4, and I'm trying to have yogurt every day. So another good thing that happened is that I've increased my intake of spirulina, and I think spirulina is great for skin. It's one of the superfoods. I need to read up on the benefits and let you know. But I think for women who want one of the anti-aging secrets, I think, besides coffee enema, is really like is juicing actually. And I think so-called supplement for juice, if I don't get to juice that often, I think spirulina is great, and also super green food. Okay, and finally, and this is one of the most important bits that I missed out during my 12-week journey, is that I finally implemented exercise. So I started exercising, and I tried aerobics exercise before on my rebounder, and I think that's part of it. But I think what I want is to actually tone my arms, and I want it to be something that I feel accomplished. I think rebounding doesn't, well, I don't really enjoy rebounding that much, but I think it's an excellent exercise. It's just a tad boring for me. But what I'm doing right now is actually strength training, and it's not lifting weights. I think that's pretty daunting for me when I see people go to the gym and try to lift the dumbbells and stuff like that. So I came across this program called GMB, and it's an online program that actually uses the body weight to tone our own muscles and all that. So initially I was quite worried that it would be too difficult for me. But so I just started this week, but after 5 days of doing it, I feel that my arms are more toned. I feel more confident in terms of doing some poses. It's not yoga, but when I load my arms, my wrists, it used to be that I have very weak upper body strength, and it's quite demoralizing, because when I try some exercise program, even the simple ones that is like 6 to 7 minutes, and they want me to do like the simple chin ups using a like table and stuff like that, and I find it so difficult just to go up. And so I had this issue of a weak upper body, but after just 5 days of doing it, I felt that it has strengthened, at least my arms. I love that it's very gradual, so it doesn't feel like I am totally exhausted or very daunted by it. But it's like being aware of my body, how my wrist feels, the placement of my fingers, my wrists, my elbows, and I think that is great, because in a sense it is mindful exercise. It is pretty time consuming though, but I feel quite happy about it, because I do see improvement in a very short time. It is something that I factor into my routine, and so my exercise is kind of like stretching and strength training. It takes about an hour, but so far it's been pretty rewarding. So that was what I did well. Okay, so in my final segment, which is my plans moving forward, at least for the next week, until my update again next Sunday, would be to do my DRP. So I started my DRP yesterday night, and it's going to end Tuesday night. So it's a 3-day detox, and I want to do it every once a month. It's going to be the first week of the month, so it will be between like Saturday to Tuesday or Sunday to Tuesday. So I did think about doing it twice a month in order to accelerate the process. So I'm still considering it, but I realize every time I do a DRP, it kind of disrupts my routine. And I think it's more important that I stick to the routine. The other plan that I intend is to try to get into the momentum of getting my habits back again, and one of them is juicing, and the other is sleep. So for juicing, I'm trying to aim 3 times a week this week, and for sleep, I want to try to sleep before 12 a.m. and work towards the optimal 10:30 p.m. And finally, before I end the video, I forgot to update you about my results. So today I weighed myself and I was 63.2 kg. So within these 2 weeks, there were fluctuations, and it fluctuated between 62.9 to heaviest would be about 64.5. Yeah. So fluctuations are always about 2 kg. I think I need to think of it that way. So when I weighed myself at my lightest today, it was 63.2 kg, which I think is roughly similar to how I ended my weight, which was in week 2, right? I think week 2 was about 63 to 63.5. Yeah. So what this showed me was that despite me not in terms of the diet, especially in terms of the ice cream and the meat, but generally I've been able to keep my weight consistent. The downside is that when I don't do anything, when I don't do it like rigorously, I didn't do my juicing, and I just started on my exercise, but I kept my yogurt, I don't see a weight loss. So but I think it's fine. I think the quick weight loss at the beginning was all the excess weight, the water retention, the fecal matter in the colon, and all that. So if I were to lose in terms of lifestyle and losing weight, right, I hope to still be able to achieve that by the end of the year. So I am at about 63. I'm aiming for 53. That's another 10 kg. If I'm able to lose about 1 or 2 kg a month, that would be great. I'm going to see how it goes and I'll just update you. It's pretty exciting, but it's also, I must say that it was quite tiring. At first, you know, the daily vlogging, and in week 13 I was like, hallelujah, this is over. And I wasn't as on the ball as I would have been, maybe, I guess, in my 12 weeks. But I think it's also necessary to focus my attention on my other goals in my life, yet at the same time, you know, maybe have a weekly vlog like this in order to be accountable. So when I was actually writing down and planning for what I was going to share in my vlog, I realized that it wasn't as bad as I thought it was, because I tend to be pretty hard myself, and I didn't do my juicing, I didn't, you know, I ate ice cream and meat. But then I realized that, you know, there are other areas that I did well, and and then it was great to be able to sit down and see the overall picture, because I think what happens to me sometimes also in other areas of my life is when I see myself not doing well, I get very discouraged, you know, and I forget what I did well. And then when I get very discouraged, I'll be like, let's just give this up, you know, and just continue. Since I can't give it up anyway, why don't I just be happy and so my results, not only in terms of weight loss, but in other areas of my life like career and all that, you know, I just make the switch instead of persevering. So I think this was great when I was able to shift my attention also on what I did well and my future plans. Yes, so anyway, this is my update for week 14 and actually week 13 as well, and I'll see you in the next video.